What's up, wild ones? So we all have different things that motivate us, right? Like sometimes it's pain, like we got to get all up in that pain, all up in it before we can actually shift. Sometimes it's like the delicious desire of just being so turned on and really tapping into our pleasure. Everyone has a different kind of setting, if you will, where they move towards that friction, like they need that breaking point, or they need pressure, or they need a deadline in order to actually get something done. And then others, right, it's more of that I can see the big vision, and I can really start to experience myself in that, and I have a set goal, and that's all that's needed, right? So, and we can always play between, right? Sometimes, and it depends, right? Like in relationships, you might have one kind of set point, like one thing that moves you. In your business, you might have another. In your wealth consciousness, you might have another, right? In your health, you might have yet another. So just understanding what's bringing you into the space that you need to be in order to fully step into what you want in your life, in every area of your own mastery. Look at that, okay? Look at that. And then you can, once we start to look at that and understand, okay, so I'm motivated by the friction, or I'm motivated by freedom. You can see how you can self-inspire yourself, right? To move towards things with more momentum and more flow. Now, I know you're like, how do I have flow if I'm only motivated by the friction? You can have the flow because it doesn't have to be struggle bus time, right? You can, let's say you need that deadline, you need some sort of pressure. You're like, I perform better under pressure. Sometimes that's limiting beliefs, right? But sometimes it's just like, it gets you excited, it gets you going. And there's like this random spider web that's just flying in the air right now. If you're motivated by that kind of pressure, you can look at it and say, if I know I need a deadline, you can plan this ahead of time. It doesn't have to be down to the wire in all areas. You can set deadlines and goals for yourself that are even ahead of when things actually are due. So let's say you consult and you know on software or something like that, and you need things to be done by whatever, September 1st, right? You can have deadlines for yourself every week leading up to that, or every 2 weeks or something like that, so that you can actually hold yourself accountable with some pressure, right? And you're actually playing with commitment, embodying commitment for yourself rather than an external deadline. You get to actually shift, and that brings you more ease, right? If you're motivated by the desire, right? This can be awesome. It can also be a challenge, because if you don't have anything that's kind of on the horizon that makes you feel really good and you're like excited about, maybe you're not getting anything done, right? So how can you self-turn on, self-excite in order to get you to where you need to be, in order to take action? So looking at, okay, so maybe you want to travel more, right? But you don't have a trip booked, right? Start to look at, and I don't mean you need to create a vision board. You can if that works for you, but start to look at, okay, where are some places I want to go? What are the things I want to do there? What needs to happen in order for me to create this space in my life, right? Because if we don't create the space for it, then desires are just going to be desires. You're never actually going to actualize them. So what needs to happen in order for me to make it happen in my life, in order for me to allow it to happen, right? How I can co-create this desire without needing the pressure or the deadline. So just understand, if you're a friction or a freedom kind of a gal or a guy, start to understand that so you can bring more ease. It doesn't have to be struggle in either direction. It also doesn't have to be, wow, nothing is happening because I don't have that external motivation. This is about bringing everything from the inside out into the world. All right, so I hope this resonates. If it does, then make sure you're subscribed. Hit that little subscribe button, turn on the bell to make sure you get notifications. I'm gonna go live on Insta at some point today, so make sure you're following me over on the gram at Niga Carly. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you're having an incredible day. Oh, make sure you give me a comment. Which one are you, friction or freedom? What motivates you? What floats your pleasure boat? All right, I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.